Yo, it's the GoGo Joe Show, Music Reaction Monday. Today, special day, I'm reacting to some music suggested by a young fan known by Unknown Turtle. He requested that I listen to another artist named Phonon and his song Conic Sections? Conic Sections. Conic Sections. Conic Sections? Conical Sections? Conic Sections. Regardless, let's listen. Before I listen to the song, though, I wanted to get some intel on who Phonon is. So I headed over to his YouTube page, and as we can see here, looks like a young guy, if I could say. He looks like a young dude playing at a stage here, probably a smaller stage wherever he's from. Dubstep man trying to break all the rules is what he says. Joined in 2016, so he's been making music for a little bit. If I check out his videos, he's only got 2 videos. He's got 1469 and Conic Sections. So let's listen. Here we go. Conic Sections from Phonon. So far, this is actually a pretty nice start. I was expecting something not as well put together. There's a lot of ambience. The track feels wide. There's also like a doong, 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 doong in the background, and it sounded very similar, I think. Oh my god, I'm going to get this wrong, but to like a Deadmau5 song. I think there's one that has a similar melody to it. Curious where this is going to head. Interesting change up right here in the beginning to lead into the drop. It was a kind of a atmospheric melodic thing going on, and then he went into this like direct build right away, like very not rough transition, but very stark transition, easy to notice. Okay, so I'll say definitely I can tell this is a young producer. There is a lot going well with this track, but there's a lot of things too that could probably use a little bit more attention. Some of the pieces aren't exactly fitting together super well, and the stereo spectrum, though it feels wide, it doesn't feel full. There's some frequencies that are still missing a little bit, but the music video is also really interesting. It looks like he definitely used like motion. I think there's an Apple program called Motion where you can make these cool visualizer effects, or maybe even in After Effects. And if you read the description, it says that his dad made it, so shout out to Phonon's dad. It also has a feeling of another dubstep song, and I can't put my finger on it exactly what it is. It's in there, and it's calling out to me, and I can't put my finger on what it is. Okay, now he went and now I get it. If you read the description again, it says this is a mix between neuro and dubstep, and this is kind of like a neuro funk, I guess you would call it, drum and bass sound. Sound is the word I'm looking for. Sound in your ear. It has this like kind of thing going on that's very common in drum and bass neuro funk. This video is gonna give someone not schizophrenia. Oh my god, it's gonna give somebody some seizures is what it's gonna give somebody. A lot of flashing between this Phonon and like the coronavirus looking thing. Definitely, as I mentioned, could use a little bit more polishing. The sounds sound good, and I think the layout is good, but definitely needs a little bit more fill on the different stereo spectrums. So probably what I would say is more layering to get that really deep sound that a lot of bigger producers have. in this part too, these bridge sections that he has where it's not the heavy bass sound, I guess, the drop part, actually feel more complete and more put together. The sounds kind of mesh well. Even the like, there's like a ding 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 synth in the background that is a little hard. He could probably reduce or increase the attack on it so that it's not hitting so hard, because it's really kind of hitting in the middle of my eardrum. But it's not a bad melody. It's just the sound design is a little harsh. Got some nice saw or square waves going on here. It's probably a nice saw wave that's smoothed out. Sounds nice here. A couple different layers. Yeah, not too bad. There's a lot of promise here. Like, this is a very talented young producer for sure. Just needs to work on filling out I keep saying it, the audio spectrum with a couple different layers. The bass, at least in these headphones, doesn't sound as powerful enough as it could be, and as smoothed out as it could be. Could use more sub. Also, there's parts where he could have taken out some sounds to really build up the drama of the track. So a lot of times what happens is a producer will cut out a certain frequency and just have like the synth, like the happy synth ding going on in the background with some more atmospheric stuff on the side, but the synth is kind of centered. He'll definitely need to work on, I don't know, a lot of these tips and tricks that just the big producers use. Yeah, this part is nice. This part is fine. Nice. If that's Phonon there, he's definitely a young kid. Nice little outro there. I think the outro was the strongest part of that track. And then now I finally figured it out. Some of the sounds in there in the drop reminded me of Apache. If you want to check out my video of Apache, I put the card up here. I just reacted to his Renaissance album remix. But some of the sounds on there that he had actually reminded me of the song I'm a Dragon from Apache. It has this guang, 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 guang. Oh man, I'm just gonna have to play it right here and then you'll hear it. And then in Phonon's version, you can hear it here. So there's definitely a little bit of maybe influence there, but Phonon, very talented young producer. This track has a lot of good pieces going for it. The structure is good. The bridge sections and the outro were awesome. The intro was pretty good. Just that switch happened a little fast for me. And then I think Phonon really needs to focus on building drama with his builds, because the builds were there, but they didn't have the drama. And then drop out sound frequencies and then really hit you with the drop when the drop comes back in and fill out the stereo space. So there's a lot of width that could still be there. Everything felt very centered, and the sub bass just wasn't there for me. So definitely Phonon should work on his sub bass skills, but a lot of promise here. I think he's going to do big things. He's still a very young dude, so he's got a long way to go. And if I could give this guy any piece of advice, or any young producer any piece of advice, it would be to reach out to the producers that you like. And if they show up to your town, I mean, now with COVID, it's a lot harder, but if they show up to your town, offer to go out to dinner with them and pick their brain. I think the young Dion Timmer did that with his favorite artist, Excision. He met him at the airport. He was like a super fan, and they hung out, and he learned a lot from Excision, and now he's an excellent producer. So maybe look into how Dion Timmer met Excision for the first time and try to copy that with some of your role models. But that's it. That's today's GoGo Joe Show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, sorry, nothing I can do about it. But until next time, you can send me your request to hijoeshow@gmail.com. You can also just leave a comment and let Phonon know what you like. A lot of the artists actually find my comment section. Boss Fight stopped by, I had Vanek stop by, and I had Young Medicine stop by. So maybe Phonon will come in and see your comment. Otherwise, good luck to you, my brother. And if you ever want me to react to something, just reach out. Until next time, though, I hope you subscribe, you leave a comment, and you like, and that you listen to something good, because you know it. I love you.